Hello everyone, welcome to Clavimet classes. So me, Truptibai Mohanty, your biology teacher. Today we will study about spermatogenesis, which comes under your reproduction chapter, that is human reproduction. It is a part of the human reproduction chapter. Let's begin with the topic. So first, what is spermatogenesis? It is a process through which the male gamete, that is the sperm, is formed. Male gamete. Everyone knows what is gamete? Gamete are of two types, that can be male or female. The male gamete is called as sperm and the female gamete is called as ovum, right? And the chromosome state of male gamete is haploid, that it is N. N number of chromosomes are present in male gamete or in sperm. Always remember that the gametes are always haploid in number. This question is asked frequently. So, the process through which the male gamete is formed is known as spermatogenesis. So, where does the spermatogenesis occurs actually? This actually occurs in the testis of a male. Everyone knows there is testis, which is the primary sexual organ. Here, the process of spermatogenesis occurs. And it is a continuous process. Mark my words, it is a continuous process.
Ma'am, why it is continuous process?
Okay.
It is called a
Okay. I'm coming to it. So why it is called a continuous process? Because the process doesn't have any haltations. It doesn't halt anywhere. Once it starts from the puberty, when a male attains its puberty at the age of 11 to 13 years, this process continues till around 90 to 95 years of age. So it is a continuous process. But in contrast to female, the process is totally discontinuous. That it starts at the before birth and then halts for some time and again continues from the attainment of puberty. That is why it is a continuous process in case of males. Starts from the puberty and continue till around 95 or 90 is of the male.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. So I have already told that the process starts from the puberty. Puberty, everyone knows puberty, that it is the sexually maturation of a male or female. Puberty term is related to maturation or sexual maturation. Ignore the writing. You know about cell division, that how a cell divides and its numbers are got increased. So both there is two process in a cell division, that can be mitosis and meiosis, and both the kinds of divisions are involved in spermatogenesis process. Both mitosis and meiosis divisions are included in this process. So what is mitosis and what is meiosis? We're going to study it. Here comes the points. Please remember that both mitosis and meiosis are types of cell division. Both are different types of division of a cell. That means how a cell increases its numbers. In case of mitosis, it occurs in all somatic cells. You know there are two types of cells in human body. One is somatic cells and another is germ cells. So the whole cells are known as somatic cells, and the gametic cells, it means the germ cells where the gametes are formed, are known as germ cells. So in case of all somatic cells, mitosis process occurs. We can call the mitosis process as equational division. This is a very important point. That is why I have highlighted it. It is called as
Ma'am, what is
equational division.
equational division?
Yes. I'm continuing.
Hmm.
So it is called as equational division. Why? Because in case of mitosis, let's consider it is a cell and it has diploid set of chromosome, that is 2n number of chromosome. Once it undergoes through mitosis process, the number will divide. one cell will become two daughter cells, and the chromosome status will remain the same. Chromosome status remains the same means both cells will get a diploid set of chromosomes, that is 2n set of chromosomes.
Okay.
That is why I have said that it is a equational division, because the cell number increases but the chromosome number remains constant. That is why it is known as equational division. And another main point is it is occurs in all somatic cells only, mitosis.
Okay.
So meiosis is just opposite to it. It occurs in all germ cells. From the germ cells, which kinds of cells are formed? Gametes. Both male and female gametes are formed from the germ cells. And the meiosis process is called as reductional division. We have studied that mitosis is called as equational division, and in meiosis we call that it is a reductional division. So why it is a reductional division? Because in case of meiosis, the chromosome number will reduce to its half. Let's say in this process, a cell is having its chromosome number diploid set of chromosome, that is 2n. After the meiosis division, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Which?
Okay. So see here, the chromosome number reduced. From 2n, it reduced to n number of chromosomes. That
Yes, ma'am.
is why it is called as reductional division, because the chromosome numbers gets half or reduced to half.
Okay.
Cell number increases, but the chromosome number also reduces to its half. That is why it is called as reductional division.
Yes, ma'am.
Cell number increases, but the chromosome number reduces to half. And in case of meiosis, it has two divisions, means two subsequent divisions. First meiosis 1 occurs, then meiosis 2. So meiosis 1 is the reductional one, and meiosis 2 is the equational, just equal to mitosis. Let's take an example. Here is the diploid number of chromosome. First, in meiosis 1, the reductional division will occur. So there will be n number of chromosomes. And in case of meiosis 2, that occurs after meiosis 1, 4 daughter cells will be formed. And both will have n number of chromosomes, because it is equational division. Meiosis 2 is just equal to mitosis. You got my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So it is all about mitosis and meiosis. We can sum up that mitosis occurs in all somatic cells, and it is a equational division. That is why the chromosome number remains constant. And in case of meiosis, it occurs in germ cells. It is called as reductional division. Why? Because the chromosome number reduces to half. And there is two subsequent divisions, that is meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. In case of meiosis 1, it is reductional division, and in meiosis 2, it is equational division. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So here come to the process of spermatogenesis, where we have studied that both mitosis and meiosis process involves. So what is the process of spermatogenesis? I have discussed it earlier that the process of formation of male gamete or sperm is known as spermatogenesis. Let me change the color. So spermatogenesis process is broadly divided into two parts, that is spermatidogenesis and spermiogenesis. This spermiogenesis we can also call it, okay, just a second. We can also call it spermatoleiosis. Sorry. Both terms have equal definition, spermiogenesis or spermatoleiosis. So the spermatogenesis process is broadly divided into two parts, that is spermatidogenesis and spermiogenesis. In case of spermatidogenesis, what forms? Here the formation of spermatids. That is why it is spermatidogenesis. You know what is genesis? Genesis means formation, and spermatidogenesis means formation of spermatids. Here spermatid formation occurs first. After the formation of spermatids, they become to sperms, and this process is known as spermiogenesis or spermatoleiosis. So we can tell that in spermiogenesis, the spermatids form into sperms. So in the first part, that is spermatidogenesis, where the spermatids are formed, it is divided into three phases. That is the first one is the phase of multiplication, phase of growth, and phase of maturation. And I have told that in spermiogenesis, spermatids convert into motile sperms. I will discuss it later. First, we will study about the spermatidogenesis process. It has three phases. The diagram is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have told that the location is testis. In testis, if we will study the TS of the testis, there will be lobules like lobule-like structures, and each lobule have same structure. So I am here highlighting a single lobe. So there will be a epithelial lining that is known as germinal epithelium, and from this germinal epithelium, germ cells are present. These are the germ cells. So this segment I have highlighted here. Okay, I have highlighted this segment here. So, and these cells are diploid in nature, that is 2n. Diploid set of chromosomes are present. In germinal epithelium, I have taken one cell, that is 2n number of chromosomes, and this comes under the phase of multiplication, the first phase. So from one single germ cell, first the
Hello,
mitosis division.
ma'am.
Hello, yes.
Ma'am, why it is 2N not 3N? Or,
Okay, so now in normal condition,
yeah.
the somatic cells or germ cells have 2n number of chromosomes. It is normal.
Okay.
That is diploid set of chromosomes. And when it gets half, only it gets half in gametes, that is sperm and ovum. Uh, its number reduced into n, that is haploid. You have told me that 3n number of chromosomes. It is actually a trisomy condition, triploid. We can say triploid, and it is totally abnormal, diseased condition. There is number of sexual disorders. I mean,
Okay.
sex-linked inheritance. We will study that later.
Okay.
It is not linked with this topic, but in triploid state, what you have said, in triploid state, it is totally diseased condition, and we are studying here about the normal state of a person. That is why in normal state, cells have 2n number of chromosomes. That means diploid set of chromosomes.
Okay.
So the first, I have told that both mitosis and meiosis included. So in first step, mitosis process is involved. In the phase of multiplication, multiplication means what? Number of cells will multiply, the number of cells will increase, multiplication. So in the first phase, mitosis will occur, because we know in mitosis the number of cells increases. So here from one single cell that is diploid in nature, mitosis division occurs, and from one cell we get two daughter cells with 2n number of chromosomes, and the subsequent divisions also occur. In second mitosis, we got 4 number of cells, and the 4 cells are 2n in nature, it is diploid.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
cells we got from the germ cell is known as spermatogonia. Okay.
Okay.
The four cells we got here is known as spermatogonia, and these are diploid in nature. Spermatogonia is plural form. If we will take a single cell, we'll call it spermatogonium, which is its singular form. Spermatogonium and spermatogonia. Spermatogonium is singular and spermatogonia is plural. So if we will take account into a single cell, four cell total four cells are equivalents in nature. They will do the same job, but we are highlighting here a single cell. So if we will take into account a single spermatogonium, that is 2n in nature, let's say we are studying about this cell. So what we have got in phase of multiplication, we get from one single cell there are four spermatogonia. That is the phase of multiplication. Numbers get multiplied. From one cell we get four cells. That is why it is known as phase of multiplication. Once the phase of multiplication gets over, the second phase occurs, that is phase of growth. From the name itself, we get to know that in growth phase, growth will occur. The cell will increase in its volume. So if we will take a single spermatogonium and the phase of growth occurs, that is, after the phase of growth, the spermatogonium cell will called as primary spermatocyte. The name is changed, and what others are changed? You can relate that the size has become little bit changed. Here the growth occurs actually. The cell will increase in its volume. Then the spermatogonium will be called as primary spermatocyte after the phase of growth. And the chromosome number, still you can mark it that the chromosome number is diploid. After the phase of growth, phase of maturation occurs. It is the tricky part, phase of maturation. In phase of maturation, meiosis division occurs. First, we have studied about mitosis that occurs in phase of multiplication, and in phase of growth, growth occurs, growth of the cell, that is, it increased by volume. And in phase of maturation, the meiosis process will occur, both meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So from primary spermatocyte, meiosis 1 will occur in primary spermatocyte. After meiosis 1, the chromosome number will reduce to half. We have studied earlier in meiosis 1, it is reductional division. So what will happen? We have got two daughter cells that are called as secondary spermatocyte with haploid set of chromosomes. The parent cell has 2n number of chromosomes, and after the division of meiosis 1, we got two secondary spermatocytes with haploid set of chromosomes. And then meiosis 2 will occur. So from secondary spermatocyte, after occurring in meiosis 2, we will get four spermatids. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Four spermatids with the haploid set of chromosomes. Because the second meiosis 2 is totally equal to what? Mitosis. Meiosis 2 is totally equational division. The chromosome number remains constant. That is why from n number of chromosomes, we have got n number of chromosomes. You got my point? What is phase of maturation actually? Actually, many number of questions
Yes,
come
sir.
from this point actually, phase of maturation. Here the meiosis division occurs, and from primary spermatocyte, we get two secondary spermatocyte in meiosis 1 division, that is of haploid set of chromosomes, and in meiosis 2, from two secondary spermatocytes, we actually get four spermatids with n number of chromosomes. So actually this spermatids we have studied earlier, that formation of spermatids is known as spermatidogenesis. I have told that the whole spermatogenesis process is broadly divided into two parts. That is, first phase is the formation of spermatids, how the spermatids are formed, and in second phase we will study about from spermatids how the sperms get formed. And in the spermatidogenesis, this whole process is spermatidogenesis, how the spermatids get formed. So here I can summarize that: phase of multiplication, phase of growth, and phase of maturation included. In phase of multiplication, mitosis division occurs, and from the one germ cell, we get about 4 spermatogonia with diploid number of chromosomes. And in phase of growth, the spermatogonia attains growth and becomes primary spermatocyte. Then it enters into the maturation phase, that is the phase of maturation. And here, both meiosis 1 and meiosis 2 process occurs. And from one spermatocyte, we get 4 haploid set of spermatids. It is the total spermatidogenesis process. And then the second phase occurs, that is spermiogenesis or spermatoleiosis. Here, the spermatids, just see about what the spermatids formed into motile. Motile means those who have movements, those can move, are known as motile. So from oval spermatids, these are oval cells. From oval spermatids, we get long motile swarms. And what is the chromosomal status of the sperm? They are diploid or haploid? They are haploid in nature. My voice is
Yes, ma'am.
audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what we have got here, from one spermatogonium, 4 sperms are produced. From one
Yes.
spermatogonium, we get 4 sperms, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
It is a very important point. From one spermatogonium, we get 4 sperms.
More sperms.
Okay. When we will study about the oogenesis, I'll ask about these questions again because these are related. Somewhat, these are related.
Okay.
This slide is clear?
Yes,
How the
ma'am.
process is going on?
Yes, ma'am.